Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council to order for December 17th, 2015 at 8 p.m. On roll call, council members Caramagna,
Here.
Coletti,
Here.
Martino,
Here.
Patagano,
Here.
Bonsino,
Here.
Dombrowski,
Here.
Mayor Mola.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Will everyone please rise for our prayer and flag salute? Oh God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting with your trusty fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and plant therein a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our decisions, will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Law of the State of New Jersey requires the commencement of every meeting a statement by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised that the meeting requirements of this meeting have been met by posting an annual notice in the Record of Hackensack and the Herald News of Woodland Park by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk as well as in a public place within the municipal building and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2015.
Mayor, at this time, we'll move on to the approval of minutes for December 3rd, 2015 regular meeting, December 10th, 2015 work session, and December 10th, 2015 executive session. And I'd ask if anybody was absent from any of those meetings to please reflect the abstention during the roll call.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Mr. Dombrowski,
Second.
Mr. Catamagna, any discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Caramagna,
Yes.
Coletti,
Yes.
Martino,
Yes.
Patagano,
December 3rd and December 10th.
Bonsino,
I'll have to abstain from December 10th. I was absent.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Excuse me, you better move me out of the December 10th, too. I missed that work session.
Got it.
Thank you.
Mayor, at this time, we'll move on to presentations to be made to Councilman Caramagna and Councilman Patagano.
Councilman Catamagna, may you come up here, please, so I can speak and they can still hear me on the microphone? We have a plaque for you. Presented to Councilman Frank Catamagna of Elmwood Park by the Mayor and Council, wish to extend their heartfelt thanks on behalf of the community for your 3 years of dedicated service as a member of Elmwood Park. It's 15 years, isn't it? 3 years at a time, but 15 years. Frank,
Thank you, Mayor.
it's a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
That's 15 years that he's given to
15
the
years, well,
community.
that's okay.
But that's for the last 3.
You gonna still get my pension?
Mayor, give him 4 or 5 of them, one for each, every 3 years.
That's right. And so he's got more plaques. Glenn, please.
I got a lot of plaques.
I'm not going to read this over again, but it's the same plaque as we gave to Mr. Catamagna, and it's my pleasure.
Thank you, Mayor.
You've done a good job. I'd just like to inform everybody watching and sitting here that, quite frankly, we agree 95% of the times with what we do. It's just a couple things that we disagree with, but I think everybody's here looking to help the community, and I want to personally thank both of you again. You have anything you want to say at this point?
No, thank you. It was my pleasure, too.
Mayor, if I may ask if we could, at the end of the meeting, if we could all just get a picture of the council as we sit today. Do it after the meeting, though, if that's okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mr.
Mayor, at this time, we'll move on to ordinances, both on second reading. Resolution R 417-15, introduce ordinance 15-23 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to fix the salary, wage, compensation of officers and employees and servants of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey for the year 2015. And whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, December 3rd, 2015, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to fix the salary, wage, and compensation of the officers, employees, and servants of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey for the year 2015 pass on final reading. Mayor will need a motion to open to the public.
Motion to open to the public, please.
So
Moved.
Mr. Patagano, second, Mr. Catamagna. Discussion? All in favor, opposed? Anyone who wishes to be heard on this? I'll close the public portion.
Mayor will need a motion to adopt.
Motion?
So
Motion
moved.
to adopt. Mr. Pettigano?
So,
Mr. Kelly?
second? Anybody?
Mr. Dombrowski? Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Roll call, Councilmembers Catamania?
Yes.
Coletti?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Pettigano?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Dombrowski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mr. Casmark, before you continue with the next ordinance, I just want to indicate that this meeting is being videoed, and it's on the Cablevision, Channel 77, and Verizon, Channel 40. And for the meetings, they're together, they both have the same times. Tuesday, 12 noon, Thursday, 4 p.m., and Friday at 10 a.m. And especially Verizon, they're subject to change within a short period of time. Within the next couple of months, they may change it again, so we have to be flexible. But Verizon has it on Channel 40. You can check it any time, and you'll see when it's going to be shown. I'm sorry, Mr. Tadlock.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R 418-15, introduce ordinance 15-24 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled "An Ordinance Establishing Procedures and Requirements for Construction Improvement Additions to the Borough-Owned Property of the Borough of Elmwood Park," and whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, December 3rd, 2015, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled "An Ordinance Establishing Procedures and Requirements for Construction Improvements and Additions to Borough-Owned Property of the Borough of Elmwood Park" pass on final reading. Mayor will need a motion to open to the public.
Motion, please. Mr. Bonsino, second.
I'll second.
Mr. Dombrowski, any discussion? All in favor, opposed, so ordered. Anyone who wishes to speak on this? If not, I'll close the public portion. May I have a motion on the ordinance, please?
So moved.
Mr. Dombrowski, Mr. Pettigano. Discussion?
Mayor, if I may?
Yes?
Unfortunately, politics does come into play occasionally when making decisions, excuse me, concerning this town. These boards were given these powers to mitigate the political aspect under the watchful eyes and oversight of the mayor and council. By voting yes to this ordinance tonight, we are diminishing the powers of those boards and giving the power to the majority of the council. I truly believe that the council members who voted yes so far on this ordinance believe in their hearts that this is the right move at this junction. I ask them to look at the bigger picture down the road and the power they are giving future councils, which could be highly political. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yes, Mayor. This ordinance simply says the mayor and council believe it's the best interest of the borough that the mayor and council review and approve construction improvements. So I'm not sure what's political about reviewing and approving. It's just due diligence. And if there's something that this governing body sees that needs to be addressed, I'm hoping that the board, in the spirit of working together, would go back, sharpen their pencil, respond to the council, and then together, we could all review and approve. So it's a very simple ordinance. Thank you, Mayor.
If I
Thank
may,
you.
Mayor? What's the difference of the way we're set up now as opposed to this ordinance? Isn't it all the same? But this is just focusing more on putting the emphasis on the council having superiority. That's the way I'm looking at it, Lou.
Just clarifies it, piece of paper, that's all.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Catamania?
Yes.
Coletti?
Yes. No. You got me all befuddled there, Lou.
Wait, safe or out? Safe or out?
No, no, no.
So noted. Martino?
Yes.
Pettigano?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Dombrowski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Oh, had to have a laugh.
Mayor, this evening under the consent agenda, we have Resolution 419-15, payment of bills, Resolution 420-15, payment of escrow, Resolution 421-15, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 422-15, appoint firefighter Michael Jones for Fire Company Engine 3. Resolution 423-15, resolution to refund credit balances on property tax accounts. Resolution 424-15, refund tax overpayment due to tax court judgment 320 Molnar Drive. Resolution 425-15, authorize refund for the Recreation Department program. Resolution 426-15, authorize release of road opening performance bond for 207 Miller Avenue. Resolution 427-15, change order number 1, final cost estimate for improvements to Iozia Terrace, Franklin Street, and Court Street, Crossroads Pavement Maintenance LLC. Resolution 428-15, authorized purchase of a 2016 Ford Police Interceptor SUV for the Department of Public Works. Resolution 429-15, authorized status change from substitute to full-time crossing guard Donna Melick. Resolution 430-15, special legal counsel CULA for Jason Law Firm. Resolution 431-15, person-to-person consumption liquor license transfer for Walter Ventura, 0211-33-011-011. Resolution 432-15, authorized lien for outstanding water bill relative to 390 Boulevard. And Resolution 433-15, transfer of funds.
Motion, please.
Excuse me, Mr. Kazmark, if I may, I'd like to add something to the consent agenda. I'd like to pass it out to I apologize for the lateness of this, but if you could, just please take a look at this. This would be 434-15, if we agree. Mr. Kazmark, would you like it to read, or would you like me to?
Mayor,
Excuse me?
do you want me to read this?
No, it's not illegal.
Well,
Appointment, it's my appointment.
understood, Mayor, but I think once you see the qualifications of this individual...
It's my appointment.
I recognize that, but it's also at the consent of the council, and I'm just asking you to consider this person because of his qualifications, and if you would waive your right and give us the opportunity to vote on it, we would be able to work it out.
This is to appoint Water Recreation Advisory Staff Tom Conboy,
Correct.
and I'm saying it's my appointment.
And I understand, we completely understand.
And I have not made an appointment yet.
I understand that, but if I may give the reasons why Mr. Conboy, I believe, would be a very good person for this board. Currently, Mr. Conboy, obviously, he's a resident of Elmwood Park. He's currently the director of the Youth and Young Adults Ministry for the Archdiocese of Newark. He oversees youth outreach programs. He organizes youth retreats. He's the director of the CYO Summer Camp, director of the CYO Sports Programs. He's on the committee for Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts of America. He's a former Elmwood Park Republican councilman, former liaison to the Recreation Board. He still is involved after many, many, many years as the coordinator of St. Leo's Sports, and I think that he would be a perfect candidate for our Recreation Board.
Thank you. Read the agenda as it was presented. I'm not waiving my right.
That's a shame.
It's also a shame to have, does everybody agree we put Councilman Conboy on? I have a letter here from Mr. Pettigano asking to be on.
I got to be honest, I've been here 13 years. I never had a councilman actually institute a resolution on the spot like this. Nobody's doubting Mr. Conboy's qualifications, but to put us on a spot like this without vetting this, I think is inappropriate.
I read Mr. Conboy's qualifications. I think that he would be a perfect candidate for the Recreation Board.
As a matter of fact, I'd like to ask the attorney, can he do what he just did?
He could ask to be put on, but it is the mayor's appointment, and until the mayor makes an appointment, at least past 30 days. no one else.
And I'm asking the mayor if he would waive his right to it.
And I'm saying for the second, third, fourth time, I'm not waiving my appointment. If I did waive it, I would look seriously at Mr. Pettigano and see if Mr. Pettigano wants it next year.
Okay.
Did you ask Mr. Pettigano if he wanted it?
I didn't even know he wanted it.
Well, maybe you should do that before you institute something like this. Mr. Kazma, call the roll on the regular agenda.
Mayor, at this time, we'll need a motion on the consent agenda as read.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Versino, second.
So moved.
Mr. Pettigano, discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania,
Yes.
Coletti,
Yes.
Martino,
Yes.
Patagano,
Yes.
Vansino,
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening under departmental reports, we have municipal court report for November, building department report for October, library board minutes for October 19th, recreation department report for November, and the finance department report for November.
Motion to receive and file?
So moved.
Mr. Dombrowski, second.
Second.
Mr. Catamano, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered.
Mayor, that
Council-
concludes my portion of the agenda.
Thank you. Council reports. I'm going to keep Mr. Catamano and Mr. Pettigano for last, so I'm not skipping you. Okay. Mr. Dombrowski.
Certainly. The Board of Health, let everybody know that currently going out in the mail, you will be receiving your dog and cat license renewals. All dogs and cats 6 months or older must obtain a license. If rabies vaccines expire prior to November 1st, a new rabies vaccine must be administered and proven by valid rabies certificate before a license can be issued. Rabies vaccinations are mandated by state statute and are not negotiated by the Elmo Park Health Department. Licenses must be renewed by January 31st, 2016, or a $20 late fee will be imposed. If you have any questions, please call our health department at 201-796-1457, extension 604. Project graduation. Our Elmo Park High School graduating seniors every year, the Parents Association tries to get together and collect money so that the kids can have a safe graduation night where they're away from drugs and alcohol. And they're hosting 2 special days. One is a bowling day for kids. It'll be held on December 29th at 10 a.m. at Parkway Lanes, and the cost is $20 per person. If anybody is looking to do something with their children during the holiday while they're not in school, it would be a great thing to attend. Plus, it would be helping out Project Graduation. Then on January 16th, they're going towards an adult night of bowling. And that'll also be at Parkway Lanes on, again, Saturday, January 16th, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Cost will be $20 per person. If anybody has any questions on either one of the programs, they could call Melissa at area code 201-410-7408. Tonight, we passed a resolution on the construction of municipal buildings. And as I said to the public a month ago, and I said it in the last council meeting, I asked to have this put on because the Elmo Park Library, as Councilman Vansino mentioned, it says that we are to review and approve plans. We've been asking the library board to see their plans. We keep getting no answers. We asked the library trustees. None of them have any idea. So I'm happy that this is passed tonight. And at the last meeting, I mentioned and asked the public to come out to the December 14th meeting, and it was abruptly canceled. Never happened. That was a meeting where we were all supposed to sit down, talk with the architect, find out what the plans were. However, for whatever reasons, it abruptly was canceled. And again, I know that most of you will see this after the fact, but for the people sitting here in this room, there will be another library meeting on Monday night at the Elmo Park Library at 7 o'clock. Please, I encourage you all to come out, see exactly what we're talking about and why we initiated this ordinance. So please come out Monday night, 7 o'clock at the library, and let yourselves be heard, and also to listen. I'd also like to mention on December 12th, last Saturday, at 7 p.m., Elmwood Park would have been considered no longer on the most boring list. We had the Centennial Committee put together a spectacular event at the Elmwood Park High School auditorium where they had a 25-piece brass band that played music for the holidays. It put everybody in the spirit. It was great watching residents up there singing, laughing, having a good time. So I must say, I'm very, very pleased to see that that was happening. We need to do more things like that, and I know that they do have more more items planned. One thing that I will say, though, is I wish it was more attended. It really was a spectacular night. And, we have gotten, ridiculed for for not doing many things in this town, but that's something that really was good. And I applaud the Centennial Committee for putting that together, and I highly recommend that any of the future programs that they're putting together, that the residents get involved. Finally, I want to thank outgoing Board of Ed member Steve Zaccone and Peter Scalaro for their years served on the Elmwood Park Board of Education. They will be leaving this year and being replaced by two others. And I just want to say thank you for their services to the Elmwood Park Board of Education. I'd also like to thank Councilman Pettigano for everything that you have done over the last 3 years and the last 2 years with me. I appreciate all that you've done. I know that your community service will not end here, and I just wanted to say thank you. To Councilman Caramagna, all I could say is you have been my mentor. You have given me opportunities that you've opened up doors for me that I just can't repay. And I just want to say that, as a former teacher, you gave your heart and soul there. As a councilman, you've given your heart and soul here. I know that you'll continue to give your heart and soul to the community. I know it's there. And I just wanted to say thank you. And I appreciate everything that you've done for me and for this community. And thank you. And just in case it doesn't happen, if our attorney doesn't get reappointed next year, I also want to thank, Joe Rendazzo, our attorney. I think for the last 2 years, he sat up here and has given us great guidance. And again, I'm really hoping that he gets reappointed, but that certainly is up to the majority at this point. But Joe, thank you.
Mr. Valentino?
I'm not finished.
Oh.
I just, I'm not trying to politicize the resolution that I threw forward earlier. I just want everybody to know that I really believe that Mr. Conboy, his qualifications justifies his ability to serve on that recreation board. And I'm sorry it didn't go through tonight, but I'm really hoping that the mayor and the majority will consider him for that board, as well as, there are other people that are up for reappointment, and if Mr. Pettigano is looking to get on there, maybe he could take over one of those other spots. But, my purpose for putting Mr. Conboy on is because we've had a member, a rec board member, Bob Calabro, resign this past week, effective immediately. And I also want to thank Bob Calabro for everything that you have done for the community, not only as a member of the rec board, but as a member of Little League, Elmwood Park Junior Baseball, and the many things that you have done for the children of Elmwood Park. I wish you much success in whatever you choose to do from here, and I really appreciate everything that you've done. Thank you. Now I'm done. Progress.
Thank you. Mr. Valentino?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I was hoping to have the results of the New Jersey SEM electric auction today, but I haven't received those yet, so we'll have to wait till January to get those out. Relative to the library, I'm going to ask Mr. Kazmark again to reach out to the library board. We had a meeting in September where we tried to review kind of the requirements driving the capital improvements down at the library, and we left there with a number of open issues, and the board committed to meeting again and going back and looking at what's driving the need for some of the improvements, some of the data, some of the work done by other libraries, and have a follow-up discussion so we could all understand the basis for the capital improvement and their capital plan. I'd asked for a meeting probably in October, maybe a couple of weeks after our September meeting, and it hasn't happened yet. And it's either their attorney's not available or the architect's not available. But the reality is we don't need the attorney or the architect. We just really want to meet with the board so we understand what their understanding of the improvements are and what's driving the requirements that they're giving the architect. So we're way, having an architect create plans is a couple of months down the road in my mind as an engineer. You have to focus on getting the requirements right before you start building. And so we really need to have this meeting with the library board. So hopefully it'll happen in January sometime. And finally, to Councilman Pedagano and to Councilman Carmagna, it was a pleasure serving with you on this council, 3 years, and I guess 7 years with you, Frank, right? 6, 7 years. And I want to just recognize your service to the borough and wish you the best. Keep in touch. And for the residents of Elmwood Park, wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy New Year. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Martino?
A few things. This year, the Homeowners Association, unfortunately, was not well attended. Our goal for 2016 is to, everyone's listened to us, maybe you can get involved. You know, we sit in here and plead and please come to the meetings, please come to the meetings. What you might suggest might help us and might change some things for the good, for the better, we don't know, but unless we hear from you, we can't help. The library has been brought up. I've been on the council now, it'll be in a few weeks, 2 years. That's all I've heard about. I'm not a construction person. I have no clue what goes on. But I do know that after 2 years of me being here, and I'm sure it's been much, much longer, please resolve this. And that's one of the reasons I voted yes. Not because I want to get involved. Maybe voting yes, and maybe this will push them to do the right thing for the town. We're not here to say which brick goes left, right, but we are here to try to control and to make sure that everything is done properly and the town is safe and the children are safe. That's really the goal. Along the lines of Councilman Caramagna and Councilman Pedagano. I haven't lost Councilman here today. I've gained some friends. I've known Councilman Caramagna, I don't know, 15 years, probably 5 to 7 years before I was elected. He'd always come to my house, knock on my door, I'd offer him coffee, and I would always say no to him. 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I got back from Aruba on July 20th. July 21st, I have no clue how he knew I was home. Maybe the neighbor told him. And he came into my house and asked me again. I was tired. My wife looks at me, I look at her. My kids looked at me, they looked, and we said yes. And you know what? I'm very thankful that he had the faith in me. I don't know, he ran after me 6, 7 years before I got elected, which I'm very grateful for. And he might not be sitting here with us anymore, but he'll be sitting out there, and he'll still be my friend. Councilman Pedagano, I didn't really know him until 2.5 years ago. No clue who he was. I'm not a lifelong resident. I'm in Elmwood Park 23 years. But in the 2.5, let's say 2.5, 3 years that I've gotten to know him, he exemplifies a lot of things that I go for. His family, his children, his work ethic. And at the end of the day, we might not all agree what we say up here, but we're all trying to do the right thing for the town and trying to save money, trying to have services, and sometimes we go about it a different way, but at the end of the day, we all want the same goal. Other than that, progress.
Thank you. Mr. Coletti?
Regarding the library, I just don't get where the council's going with this in terms of energy. We have major items, issues in this town that we can direct that energy to. We've got a school system that's pleading for help, a business district that needs upgrading. We have soccer leagues that are at each other's throat, and all this energy is going into the library. The library needs to be refurbished, there's no doubt about that. And it seems like it's going to happen, and we must stay on top of it. But to take all this energy, week after week, and as my colleague had said, for 2 years, if we would just take that energy and put it to something constructive, and this list is only 3 or 4 items, it probably could be 10 items that we should be working on. It was a real crazy fire on Route 4, Elizabeth Street, I believe it was, and it was caused by a car parked on a pile of leaves. The leaves were packed so tight underneath the car, under the catalytic converter, when they started the car, it ignited the leaves. And the lesson here is to learn is to avoid parking on leaves if you can. Although we're having a mild winter, I'd just like to remind the residents out there about the fire hydrants. When the snow does come, and hopefully it comes way down the line or not at all.
Easy there.
Easy, right? Yeah, easy. We need for you residents who bought a fire hydrant to keep it clean. Very important, very important. We had a situation 2 years ago that was scary, and when that snow was all piling up. So if we're diligent at the beginning, as these small storms come, keep them clear. When we do get the heavy ones, you'll have more room to keep the fire hydrant clear. And that's it, Mayor.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me. And I will have my closing comments on my 2 colleagues that are leaving on the 1st of January.
Thank you. Mr. Catamagna?
Thank you, man. Thank you for the plaque. Very nice. I have a collection of them there. Maybe if I keep them running, get so many plaques.
How many you have, Frank?
I have so many from different occasions. Anyhow, thank you very much.
You're
It's a
welcome.
good sign. And I want to thank the people in Elmo Park. Thank you for allowing me to serve you for 15 years. It was a pleasure. Sometimes I get upset, but inside me, I'm very clean, very clear. I get mad at the mayor sometimes, but it's over. You know, I got my Sicilian temper, but then, you know, at the end, we're all here to serve the people and to do the best we can. Sometimes we have some misunderstanding, but that's okay. At the end of the night, we're all friends, right?
Correct.
Thank you. I want to congratulate the mayor again. I thought this time I had a mayor, what the heck? And let me tell you something else. I walk on the streets in Elmo Park, and everybody goes to me, Frank, I vote for you. Frank, I vote for you. Frank, I vote. I want to recount. I think something's wrong.
It's true.
Everybody says they all vote for me. And I keep on saying, you know, I put those little like every fight. I have thousands of them. I don't know what happened. The miscount. Anyhow, I congratulate Maggie, right, and Anthony, and all the young people, and I wish you the best. I know you will do your job, and you have a lot to learn. And I hope, you know, I'm sure they will do a good job. You're still young, and you're smart, both of you. Glenn, Lorraine, thank you for running me. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Lorraine. It was a pleasure to work with you. Sometimes I get upset, you know, because I want to do more. Cannot be done. But we try very hard. We really try hard. Just people should know a Christmas decoration, the one we have, the lights, the pole, was our idea, Lorraine. You and I worked very hard on that. We collect a lot of money from our friends to pull those things up. So people should have something. I also remember at the very beginning, I'm the one who started the Christmas tree at the recreation. I'm the one who paid for the electric to be connected to the tree out of my pocket. And also remind everyone, I started the soccer league. At the very beginning, we would play a bunch of guys at night when I was younger, play soccer indoors. Penny used to watch us. Then we decided to do something for the kids. And I asked those guys to play with me to become coaches of the kids, and they did. And we We raised money, went to the merchants, they pay for the uniform. That's it. Now, I tell you, soccer was something small in this town. Now it's, I guess, the highest enrollment we have. So, because I try to tell them, man, soccer is important all over the world. I know here football is very important, but all over the world. I was a soccer player since my mother bought me my first soccer ball, maybe 3 years old. I was on a scholarship for Fairleigh Dickinson, play soccer. So that's my game. Also, I start to like football, believe it or not. I'm a Giant fan. I get excited. I don't know why. And also Devils, my family, the old Devils. That's why my house is a hell. All my family, the Devil fan. It's good. Mr. Cowboy, I know he comes here very loud, he comes here very strong, but at the end, the guy has a good heart. How many times we confront each other in the past? And I think, Mayor, it's a good choice for the job. I mean, if we talk about politics, I say, you know what, he's a Republican, I won't give it to him. But we prove it to you guys, we don't appoint Republicans. I mean, we appoint Republicans. We don't care what party they are. The Democrats, Independent. We appointed Mr. Troinsky at the library. He was a Republican. Then he changed to screw my elections. Richie, I'm only joking. No, he's in the library. So we really don't care, you know, what party is. We only care to make this a better place to live. Safer place to live. This is what we want in Elmwood Park. I don't know if I come back or not, doesn't matter, because I know I felt bad. I mean, nobody wants to lose. Mainly, I feel bad for my friends. In my family, my friends say, Frank, I'm sorry. Frank, I'm sorry. It's okay, don't be so sorry. I'm used to 4 times with a mayor, what the hell? So, I'm used to losing, that's okay. I'm good loser. But now I am not a quitter. I always try to do something good for this town. I try to do the best I can, one way or the other. I'm always willing to help. You guys need me for anything, just call me. I don't want to talk forever. I get a lot more to say. I didn't write anything, just a few scribbles here. But I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a really happy New Year. And I hope we have a peace in this earth because, you know, makes me nervous, all this problem that we have now. Hope we all get together in the world and wake up and enjoy life. Life is very short. And just to mention it, I want to offer my condolences to my brother-in-law. He lost his brother yesterday. And my mother-in-law, she's on the way out. And a friend of mine went to the wake last night. He also passed away from Alzheimer's. So really, what's life? Why hate each other? We should really do the best to respect one another and to love each other. We only here temporarily. We're not here forever. So everyone, again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and thank you to all those who helped me and to those who vote for me. The 20,000 people that vote for me. Thank you. Nothing else to say. Nothing else for you.
Councilman Pettigano.
Thank you, Mayor. There are a lot of people I want to thank. Frank is number one. He's the man that brought me in, showed me what to do. And although I didn't do everything he asked, I think I made a really good friend, and I made a lot of good friends up here. I also want to thank Lorraine for a great campaign. She's a wonderful candidate, and I'm very sorry she didn't get in. Steve, Lou, Joe, Bob, Mayor, Keith Kasmark, you too. Thank you, all of you. I have to say also the municipal building here is full of very helpful, wonderful people. Anybody out there in Elmwood Park needs help, please come. The doors are always open. And I've always felt welcome. They've always done really good work for me. I will continue to do things in Elmwood Park. One is the Alumni Association. I'll be able to put a little more time into that. There's a lot of issues, of course, with the Board of Ed. And I'm hoping I can make an impact on making our schools a little better. I think if we all did a little bit, it would help a lot. I can't believe I sat around the table with Republicans and didn't fight every single time. But everybody's pretty reasonable, and everybody really cares about the town here. And although the rhetoric is not good sometimes, we say things we don't like, we say them in public. Like Frank said, but at the end of the day, we can still talk to each other and be amicable. I don't know. Good luck to Maggie, and good luck to Anthony. They seem like they have their own agenda already, and I hope they pursue their agenda. Because every councilman needs to have projects. Every councilman needs to create things for our town, whether it's entertainment or a new ordinance. We do give you some entertainment up here on occasion. That's not the entertainment I was talking about, but also the people of Elmwood Park. I want to thank all of them. I've met a lot of new people, good people, and I've always gotten a positive reflection from them, and I want to thank them for that. As far as the rec, I'm going to go to the rec now. It was an experience working with the rec department. I think we got a lot of things done over the past couple of years. There were some battles, but they were nothing personal, just the same as nothing should be personal here. We all do what we think is best, and we work hard to get it done. And I hope the new people coming in will do the same. So thank you, everybody. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
It's been mentioned about the concert we had over at the high school, the Imperial Brass, and the excellent concert band. Mr. Dombrowski mentioned most of it. I'm not going to say it. 25-piece band, but we did have over 200 people attend, and quite frankly, we had over 50 who paid at the door. Now, we did run into conflicts because the church had their concert. There was a couple of functions with the fire department, and it's amazing that the month of December has so many appointments, people having parties themselves. But what we'll try to do is maybe we can have them come back again. They're really excellent, and have that concert going. I will try to do that. We'll try to raise some funds so that they may come back again next year and provide us with the same good music that they had. At this time, I would like to open the meeting to the public. If there's anyone who wishes to be heard, please come to the microphone and give us your name and address. No one wishes to be heard?
Keith, freeze.
Did you do that so we can hear Tom better?
I did what Councilman
Thank you.
Martino asked me to do.
Thank you. Yeah, my neck was freezing.
Tom Conboy, 135 Tuala Avenue. Watching all the news lately with all the GOP debates going on, everyone's doing surveys and polling people. And I want to open with a survey that's not unusual, been like a trend we've been hearing in our country. but CNN put one out the last few days where I forgot how many people, didn't exactly give the data on how many they polled. Some of these polls sometimes just 100 people, right, 200 people. They said this one was a nationwide. And over 75% of the people in the United States have lost total confidence in our political figures at the federal, state, and even at the local level, municipality level. Especially those they feel have been in office longer than 2 terms. And I can understand all that, even at this local level, because it's that kind of passion of the residents in any community. You know, Frank touched on tonight that he said Councilman Chewinski, they appointed him, you know, he might have ruined his election. That certainly was not our intention, Frank. And, you know, if you talk to the other side, they'd say, well, we kind of told you you'd probably take votes from the D side than you did the R side. The positive thing is that both of you, Mr. Chewinski and yourself, brought out more residents of our community to vote for mayor than the mayor received himself. Plus the mayor 4 years ago brought in 2,500, he's now down to 1,900 and change, or almost $2,000. So who knows, maybe there's potential there, but that comes out of passion for this community. It wasn't about DRs and Is, it was about passion. And I think you saw again some of that tonight. You know, when the people see this, or anybody who's here tonight, they're probably going to say, wow, Joe nominated Tom to be on the rec board, or that you even then made your comments, because when this is over and the cameras get turned off and we see each other on the street, everybody here, or at least the ones that I speak with, and when we do, it's always about the passion for this town and to see things change. Councilman Coletti read some list of some things. Other than the soccer issue, how long were we talking about business in this town? How many years did Republicans have the majority? For many, many years. And they'll have it now for the next 2. Let's see what they fixed by the 3rd year, okay? Even myself being on there. Because you've all now had an insight to what we've had an insight of what it's tight. Like, you know, the mayor sometimes makes the comment, we've been working on it 2 years. What about the stuff we work on that should be easy, that then is even more difficult? Even when the whole body votes yes for something, it then gets vetoed. Or when we were all Republicans and all voted for something positive, we'd have to listen to how we're wrong, and maybe I know something about this town, the total scrutiny you always get. Or in this case, Councilman Coletti, I'm sorry, I totally disagree with you, but I understand where you are, and I mentioned at the last meeting. I thought tonight you did a very smart thing, you voted it. Hopefully in the new majority, it won't get changed or vetoed or whatever else regarding the buildings. And maybe it's something down the road that gets lifted and gets changed when it really starts to happen. You know, we've heard about silver linings, at least they saved this money and it's still intact. Well, we would have another problem if it wasn't intact. But the money that they continue to earn and save is from the original taxpayers and what they haven't spent in their budget. Some would say that money should just go back to the town and help reduce the budget. You know, the old saying, if you don't spend it, you don't get it back. You know, you should get it back, you don't get that same budget again. But there's also laws that say how much that should all be. And here you all are, still waiting regarding the library. And a question I have regarding the library, and hopefully it can be answered here tonight. I understand there's a construction committee. Who's on the construction committee?
You asking me?
You're the liaison. You've been running it since you cut the ribbon on the building. Who's on the construction
I
committee?
am,
Yourself?
Kathy Pelicano, and the Joseph Plick. And at that time, Jamie Silverman.
So who's currently on it now?
Same people.
Including the alternate?
What we decided at the last meeting is that we wouldn't have a construction committee. The entire board would meet with everybody.
That's recent. That's recent, Mayor. Up until the last meeting.
Yeah, they only met.
Is that who was all on it, the
Yeah.
4 people?
Yeah.
I find it kind of, well, I find that even a little crazy with one of the board members who at the last time you had a meeting all together, some of them, and one of the persons you mentioned, had like really no insight to what's going on. It's even a little stranger. Tell me if it's strange or not. So an alternate whose only votes or has a say when she's there to be there for the person who should be alternate for. So isn't it a little bit weird that we have an alternate who serves as the mayor's alternate, and he's also on the committee? That's like 2 votes.
No, no, she doesn't vote.
Okay. We shouldn't have put another board member on there, like someone of knowledge, like Mr. Councilman Cherinsky, who was appointed by the Democrats?
He wasn't on when you had that committee.
Excuse me?
He didn't come to that
Shouldn't he have
committee.
been added at that time?
I don't know,
and said maybe the alternate
they
should
chose
step
not
off?
to. They chose-
Because last time I checked, with all due respect to all 3 of you, you guys ever build a house? You guys ever have any construction knowledge at all of,
Did you
your
ever
field?
Did you ever coach? Before you got on the recreation board?
Sure.
What's that mean?
I'm just asking. I have knowledge. I
He's-
know what I'm doing.
Tom, I'm not gonna argue with you, so
I'm just
that,
asking.
no.
Okay, oh, fair enough. Well, again, since the meeting was canceled, has this board received anything from the architect?
No.
As requested? And if I'm not mistaken, I've also been spoken with about 4 other of the board members. They said to date, they still haven't received even a picture.
That's right. We're waiting for him to come in.
And Bob, you asked why you think it's wrong.
We're waiting for him to come in with the whole plan.
Well, I know, it was supposed to be a meeting.
No, Tom,
And,
I never said,
I
Tom,
only wish I could have the crystal ball to show how that meeting probably got
You-
changed.
you
Tom,
have-
you mentioned my name 3 times here tonight,
Yeah.
okay? I never said anything anything about the project. My concerns are that we're spending a lot of time on this, some time should be spent on it, but there's bigger fish to fry. Understand what I'm saying, please.
Mr. Councilman Coletti, this is a big project, because it's been in the works, actually, way back to when we were all on it, even before yourself.
Bigger than
And
our
it's
school system?
Not even.
Bigger than Market Street?
Councilman, please, let's face it. Listen, I know what you're doing here tonight. You and I both know. You have to stay and do
Tell me what I'm
Geppetto
doing.
tells you to say.
What?
Excuse me, who are you calling Geppetto?
You, Mr. Mayor.
I'm sorry, then anything else, then sit down. I'll rule you
I'm
out
not
of
going
order.
to. You and I both
I'm not
know-
gonna allow this, Bob.
You and I both know. You and I both know.
You know,
You and I
Tom,
both
you got a
know
big mouth.
that this thing is
And you're
continuing-
losing, you lost an election because of that's the way you
Well,
talk.
because you went around and told people, don't vote for me, Mayor, please, come on.
I didn't have to tell anybody to vote for you.
Come on, Mayor, please, please.
Tom, you come up with these
Please,
ideas that are
please,
crazy.
no.
You were
Mayor,
up
please.
there, you were sitting here.
Years ago, when Councilman Coletti ruffled feathers of the Republican Club, you outcasted him for over 2 years.
Outcasted?
That's right.
Where are you making
Absolutely.
the-
Remember when you said, no one's gonna tell me how to run this club? No one's gonna tell me who's
No, I
gonna
don't
run for
remember
council?"
ever saying that, and you know that
come on.
too. Is there anyone else who wishes to be
Come on.
heard? You have any questions for the council?
I do.
Ask them,
I do.
and stop being snickery.
I'm not being snippy. I'm being truthful. That's
Oh,
the problem.
I have to doubt that.
Well, I know because you have selective memory. I understand it. I get it.
You see, you're
I get it.
smart Alec.
Well, because it's true.
No.
It's true. Mayor, listen, let's be honest. Let's really be honest.
Just ask your question.
For years.
Just ask your question.
For years.
Just ask your question.
I took up
Just
every
ask
right
your
for
question.
You. So
Just
don't
ask-
tell me. Something has to seriously happen for this.
Just ask your question.
Anyway.
Tom, we need to
We're
change the
gonna end the
tape.
tape and you can talk. Okay. We're gonna have a short recess. Go ahead, Tom.
The next upcoming meeting is Monday, correct?
Correct.
Right.
The library meeting?
Is this the regular meeting? Or
It's
is it-
their regular meeting.
Okay. Do we know if the architect is going to send his plans or any kind of drawings or anything?
Don't have any clue.
Does our liaison know or our lead of the library know?
Excuse me?
Do you know if the board is going to receive any documentation or any
I-
images or pictures
No, I don't think
to
so.
share with the public at their
I don't think so.
library meeting?
No.
Is being asked to attend?
No, it's a regular meeting. He'll be asked to attend a special meeting.
So we don't think this is a special meeting to talk about
It's
the
a
construction?
normal meeting.
Okay. All right, again, I'd like to thank the both of you, Councilman Catamagna and Councilman Dombrowski, for your comments, and thank you so much. I do work really hard on what I do and everything else, and it's a shame that Bob's had to leave the board. He served his town in a old-fashioned way. And not to leave just on a total sour note, but I do have to ask the question, because I was asked by a few residents. The event on Saturday night, which I also heard was very beautiful and very nice. A lot of folks pre-bought tickets, but were tickets then discounted? Or if you bought one, you got one free?
I made that offer, I was willing to pay for it. I don't think anybody took me up on it.
Okay. Right, thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you.
Anyone else who wishes to be heard? May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Dombrowski, second by Mr. Coletti. All in favor, opposed? So
Aye.
ordered.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year. Can we take that picture now? Thank you.
Who's going to take it?
I'll take it.